Esports. Electronic sports. What makes esports so great? What makes a great esport? Let's talk about that. But before we get into the video, I checked my YouTube statistics and apparently 100% of people are not subscribed to my channel. So I don't know what's happened to my subscribers currently, but they do not exist. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, feel free to. I would appreciate it very much. And if you enjoy my content, it's just there. So let's get on to the video. So this video is inspired by the title of the first episode of the Metagame documentary, where esports are beautiful accidents or happy accidents. And it's not just Smash that has this, it's quite a few other esports that weren't intended to be as big as they then became. And potentially it was the catalyst for them becoming big esports. Early on into a game's lifespan, when it just releases, sometimes the games aren't fully optimized, so people are able to figure out what's the most OP shit and sometimes exploit the game that wasn't intended by the developers. And through people's imagination and creativity, sometimes these exploits become mainstay techniques. Sometimes it creates a whole new idea and way of playing the game competitively, unintentionally. This is sort of like the Wild West period, where people are figuring out the meta. Sometimes it goes back and forth between what characters are actually super broken or what weapons are good or bad, and so you always hear, oh no, this is OP, oh no, this is OP, oh wait, hold on guys, it's actually this is OP, when people don't know yet. And it just takes time for people to learn what the possibilities are in the game. Some of these aspects do show up in Melee as well, such as dash dancing, L cancelling, DI and wave dashing. Speaking of wave dashing, that inspired a technique in Rocket League. Not only does Rocket League have that, but they have their aerial game, resets, kickoffs, and so on. With CS you have wall banging, boosts, strafing and dehopping.
This kid pushes like a fucking idiot, dude.
Some of these exploits though aren't that great for the game, since they could be game breaking or straight up not fun to play against, and that results in ruining the competitive integrity of those games. For example, the olive boost and pixel walking in CS,
Smith's looking confused and dazed, and it's gonna be a follow-up headshot.
wobbling in Melee, fountain hooks at Dota 2's International, and more recently, Valorant with their Cypher cams and Viper strips. Some developers though try to force their game to become esports, such as Overwatch in a sense. A lot of Riot Games' stuff such as Valorant and League, and future Riot products probably. I will say though, the worst offenders are usually Battle Royale games such as Fortnite, PUBG, Apex Legends, to name a few. Esports isn't something that you can just force, it's something that naturally occurs from the competitive game through the strength of its community. Personally, give a game time to breathe before you make any crazy adjustments or changes, and before making it an esport, so it can be interpreted by the community on what's good and bad. If you try and force down all your food too quickly, you're either going to throw it back up and create a mess, or you're going to choke on it and die. Or cause the game to die, in this sense.
I think we've all learned by now, we've all been in esports long enough that throwing money at things isn't necessarily going to make it happen. I mean, there's so many companies who just got, esports became a buzzword. You look at CSGO, it's got a really good scene. You look at StarCraft, really good scene. You have Overwatch, you have League of Legends. They maintain on an actually manageable basis. Throwing millions at something, it's great, don't get me wrong. Players get money, that's perfect. But sustainability and actually sticking to the actual, I guess, archetype of an esport, I think is important to me.
Frequent updates and changes on one hand allows for the casual audience to get more content and look forward to things in the future. However, if devs decide what's good or bad, it can reduce skill expression inside the game, and outside of the game can muddle with narratives and storylines in both a positive and negative way. if a character or a certain stage constantly gets changed.
You disappoint me. You can't scare me.
What I'm referring to are examples such as EDG's Morgana mid counter pick versus Faker's undefeated at the time LeBlanc at MSI 2015, or Armada picking Young Link versus HBox's Puff at Pound 5. Or what about PPMD picking Marth versus Armada's Peach at Apex 2013?
Whoa, he's using Marth? The Dr. PP Marth is out?
On the other hand, Astralis picking Vertigo versus Team Liquid at the Berlin Major 2019 could be considered one of the positives of a dev deciding to change a map. You wouldn't get some of these hype storylines, genius plans, and sick adaptations from players and teams that make it exciting to watch. Instead, you would get some OP champion or character added to the game that does anything and everything, which is sometimes complete bullshit on an esports perspective.
He's looking to get a second. He gets a double kill. The lifesteal, the death dodge. What is happening? What?
Champions such as Aphelios, Yumi, and Samira are massive offenders of that. It could also fuck around with player strengths, which exactly happened to Forgiven in Season 10 of League, when Senna and Aphelios were meta picks at that time. Or how's about the Kenny S AWP nerf back in early 2015 that pretty much stopped him from being as dominant as he once was?
Oh my goodness, so much damage done here by Kenny S. Another frag found, and again Kenny S.
Likewise, NIP probably wouldn't have won the major back in 2014 if it weren't for Cobble and Overpass being in the map pool at that tournament for the first time. It can even ruin and kill the game, so you have to make a sequel sometimes. Brig. Smash Ultimate suffers from the same thing, however, their character announcements get widespread attention, but it's not just them, it's across multiple esports. If you release something overpowered, usually it's popular and brings attention to the game. Just let me see Bowser and Garen get the same attention to detail as Samira and Hero does in their respective titles. Currently there are a few titles popping up in the recent years, such as Halo Infinite, recently Pokemon Unite, as well as Immortals Gates of Pyre, I believe it's called. It's unlikely that some of these will be esports, and big esports at that. However, there has been one game that has been getting traction for the past year, which is Valorant. Valorant is starting off really well with its popularity, but we just have to wait a while until we can fully see what this game has to offer when LANs come back and when the scene properly develops in a year or two. However, I am already seeing a ton of new agents being added in only a year, which keeps the game fresh, but sooner or later, maybe even already, there will be an agent that drops that's gonna fucking ruin it for everyone. It's Riot Games, it's gonna happen. That to me isn't esports. That's some of the ugly parts of esports. To me personally, what is beautiful about esports is the great narratives members of talent create and write about to help build the images and thoughts and opinions of everything to do with the game. It's the display of someone's playstyle and talent through their personality in the game, where they decide who they want to be, what they want to do, and how they want to do it.
Are you serious? What is that?
What isn't beautiful is where you can't show off your skill to the best possible abilities because of some occasional monkey shit that someone thought would be cool without regard of the community at all.
You're gonna really want to focus in on fucking holding mouse one.
That's not what I want to see in esports. What I want to see is XPeke backdoors. I want to see insane Lee Sin kicks. I want to see Faker 1v1Z outplays.
Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves! Faker! What was that?
I want to see the telecombos. I want to see Mango versus the new dot kid on the block in Zain. I want to see Mango still playing the best fucking melee I've seen in years later, still coming back with loser bracket runs. I want to see HBox pop-ups. I want to see wombo combos. see Cadian 1v4 clutches. I want to see a toxic rager in Simple mature and learn to climb to number 1, playing CS like the fucking GOAT he is, versus the new blood in Zain, aka the game. I want to see Astralis showcase a whole new way of approaching the game through their tactics years after its release. I want to see another great final, like in C9 vs FaZe at the Boston region. I want to see heartbreaking and meaningful losses like OMG vs Fnatic at Worlds. I want to see a Cinderella story like in OG winning TIA. I want to see the greats of the world still going at it in the game they poured their blood, sweat and tears into. I want to see a good fucking game. To me, my friends, that is esports. I think another reason why esports is awesome is because Olofmeister can high-five a dildo.